I look at the numbers last night. Third down, Brock Purdy was really good. Time of possession, he controlled it. Yards per pass, not a lot of dink and dunk. He's throwing it up the sideline. 26 first down, dominated the game. We've become so obsessed with the upside of quarterback. We fell in love with Zach Wilson because of a throw at the combine. Justin Fields' size and his ability to run. Yeah, maybe Brock Purdy's ceiling's a little lower, maybe a lot lower, but his floor is really high. He rarely even has a bad half or a quarter. He was very okay in that playoff game against Dallas. The great Cowboy defense, but he completed 65% of his throws, won the game, and had no picks. San Francisco scored 30-plus points in all but 2 games he started and been healthy. He stays out of trouble. He accurately delivers the ball to the right people. Debo, Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, usually Brandon Ayuk, who was out last night. I think he moves pretty well. They can move the pocket with him. He moves well enough. He doesn't move too well where he's paralyzed by running. He sits in the pocket and throws strikes. He doesn't shrink. He doesn't have that Kirk Cousins like teeth clenching stuff. I don't see a guy that's overwhelmed. I see a guy that moves well. I see a guy that gets rid of the ball accurately. He's confident. He's not cocky. San Francisco's offense is a symphony, and he keeps the beat. And this happens all the time. American Idol was the #1 show on television in America when, linear TV used to be a thing. #1 show for a decade. Every network, including this one, passed on it once. We circled back and got it. Good for us. Tom Brady, best quarterback ever, 6th round. Jokic, most dominant player in the NBA, 2nd round. Not only does it happen with guys like Brock Purdy, who are good. Tony Romo was really good. Kurt Warner was great. It happens all the time with stars. But here's the thing. The NFL now is so quarterback-centric that we believe if you win, it has to overwhelmingly be the quarterback. No, it doesn't. No, it does. San Francisco had more yards last night after the catch than the Giants had total yards. The ball, get it to the guys, let them break tackles. Debo breaks tackles. Christian McCaffrey breaks tackles. Kittle breaks tackles. Get him the ball early, step out of the way. The story in Kansas City this year is not Mahomes. It's their defense. The story with the Rams is a rookie wide receiver getting better than Cooper Kupp numbers. The story with the Cowboys is defense. You can win in this league a lot of games without a Hall of Famer at quarterback. Even Mahomes this year, the story is how good that defense is, probably his best. San Francisco, A-plus coach, A-plus skill positions, A-plus defense, and a quarterback that doesn't shrink, doesn't cost you anything for a couple of years. I don't even remember him at the combine, but you're waiting to see more of him. This is what he is, and he doesn't make mistakes. His passer rating's 112. Well, he's got this. Well, he's got that. Well, Matt Stafford won a Super Bowl when he had Sean McVay. Russell Wilson was good when he had Pete Carroll. Everybody has he's got blank. Aikman had Jimmy Johnson. Marino had Shula. John Elway had one of the greatest coaches ever, Mike Shanahan. Everybody's got to have something. There's no quarterbacks winning Super Bowls with lousy coaches and bad O-lines and crappy defenses. You got to have something. Yeah, Kyle Shanahan's brilliant. Yeah, the defense is stacked. And in 2 years, 3 years, when they have to pay Brock Purdy, maybe it won't be as stacked. But we're obsessed with the upside. What about this? What about the floor? This kid just doesn't have bad halves. Even against Dallas, 65% completion percentage, no picks, got it to the right guys enough, and they won the game. And he's humble, and he's hungry. So how about the other team? The Giants have the worst first half point differential through 3 games in like 30 years, 1991. They can't score when the plays are scripted with a really, really good, smart head coach. Daniel Jones in prime time, and these numbers matter because that's against good teams and good quarterbacks, right? That's what TV networks want the New York market. They don't necessarily love the Giants, but they want the New York market. And since the Giants aren't that interesting, usually they face a great roster full of stars or a great quarterback. And Daniel Jones, in his career in primetime, is 1-11. Oh, no, that's not the worst part. His passer rating's 70, almost 60s. More picks than TDs. 1-11. And that's the illustration of what the Giants are against quality. They can't even compete with the Cowboys and the Eagles right now. Forget the Super Bowl. Forget the NFL. In their own division, they're not close to the Cowboys or Eagles. Those defense suffocate this offense. And again, that's with Brian Daboll and Saquon Barkley usually, and a great left tackle usually. Suffocated. And I'll tell you something. I could be wrong on this, but I think Washington, this happens every year. We get to October and go, that team is good. I think it could be Washington. So they reached at Daniel Jones at number 6 pick in the draft, and they reached on the $40 million per year contract. It felt so Cleveland. It felt so Cleveland. There's always been this clear divide in the NFL. And I said, because I lived around Giants fans for years in Connecticut for 10 years. Almost all my friends, not a lot of Jets fans. It was Giants fans or Patriot fans. And there's always been this clear divide in the NFL. I don't even have to name the teams. Well-run organizations, you know them, and poorly run organizations. Forever. You know them. And about 10, 11 years ago, the Giants made this big leap into the have-nots crowd. Since they won the Super Bowl in 2011, 11 full seasons, 8 under 500, 0 division titles. This is worse. 6 coaches. You know what I'm talking about. You know the franchises that do that. They always look down at the Jets. No, you're looking square at the Jets. In fact, in terms of personnel, the Jets' defense, stacked. The Giants is good. I mean, you look down at the Jets. You can't look down at anybody. Can't look down at Detroit. Detroit's better than you. Can't look down at Washington right now. Got to look up at them in the standings. The only drama last night would probably be, are the Niners going to cover? I mean, you watched the game, I watched the game. That's all I thought about. Yeah, when are the 49ers going to cover? That was the only drama. When are the 49ers going to cover? So I'm looking around at this thing. I think they have a very smart GM and coach. So there's light at the end of the tunnel. But they are tied to this Daniel Jones contract. There's some light, but they've become Nebraska football. Power, titles, relevance, off the radar. And I always called them the accounting firm of the NFL. Details, even when successful, boring, but you knew what you were getting, a bedrock of details and toughness and long hours. That was the New York Giants brand. Now, I don't even think they have a brand. They have a good coach, a clever general manager, and the quarterback can move a little. But only thing I was thinking about last night, will the Niners cover? And I mean, even when it was close early, it's like, man, when are they going to pop through this thing? I tried to be positive before the season, but you take Saquon and Andrew Thomas out of that offense, and by the way, the young receiver, not getting a lot of looks last night. So, hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.